Hey guys, it's ScherBR and welcome back to my channel. Well, in today's video we'll be talking about the Halloween events that we got on this new update. We'll be talking about the other things related to the new update on another video, but I had to finish this out so I could understand it. And we got 3 events from Halloween. There's a lot of stuff to do, but happily just one of them are farming event. The first one is called the Wrecking for Grief, Trick or Threat. Then the second one is called Pumpkin Ball, and the last one is called the Stranger's Halloween Play. So the first one, this Wrecking for Grief, was actually the first Halloween event on the Japanese version, released around 6 months after the game started. And then the second, called Pumpkin Ball, was the second Halloween event in the game. So 1 year and a half after the game was released on Japan. And we have this is a little harder. The first one is very easy. You can check here the last stage. Recommend mine is around 33k. Mine is very easy. Stops here, and you get the characters on the first stage. It's very good for people starting the game right now. We have a lot of good things and a lot of free characters. The Pumpkin Ball also has the same the second version of the Capo. Is this character here is called Capo, and it also gives you the character on the first stage. But the second part, the Pumpkin Ball, can be hard. There are a lot of stages. This event had 2 parts on the Japanese version. Well, the first part stops on the Challenge 3, and then the second part starts on the EX Easy and goes up to the Halloween. The first part is up to the 5th Halloween stage has story. Then we have Challenge, and the Challenge doesn't have story. But then we get back to the EX Easy, Normal, EX Hard, EX Super Hard, and EX Halloween, and they are very tiring. This event has 4 bosses that you have to defeat, and they have too much HP, but at least you just have to clear them once. And the rewards are, most of them are bad, seriously. But we have on the end 2 embers you get from this event. So this is good just because of it. But there's a lot of hammers as rewards. First part is also full of hammers, rainbow keys, and small stamina potions. Doesn't make any difference for endgame players. But at least the 2 embers will help you out. So at least, like I said, we don't have to farm this event. And I will just post here on the description of this video how I cleared all the stages. But I don't think this is hard. The only one hard is this EX Halloween and this Pumpkin, let me check the other one, and the Challenge 3. Okay, I even found the last one a bit harder. So now let's just talk about these Kabos. These Kabos are very good characters actually, but more for starters. They try to make these characters good because, well, we have to just recognize when they try to make the game better, and they tried it this time. They tried to help us with these characters. They could have just been trash or characters that no one will ever try to use, but this time they tried to make something good of them. But they are still limited. They don't have part skills, neither of them have, but they did change some stuff about these characters. First of all, this Kabos is a sorcerer, and he uses fire and dark. He was actually the first character to be able to use 2 elements. But back on that day, he was not that good because of it. Because you see that actually he has 3 elements. His Purify attack is holy. You never find this combination of 3 elements matching the attacks of this person here. This is why this character won't be that useful. It's just like an emo, because she changes her attacks on midway, and it's kind of hard to use her. You have to get an event that it's weak to both fire and holy, but it still happens. But these 3 elements, it's never happens. So this is why this character won't be able to just push all the damage if he only had at least 2 elements, or 3 is too much. And these 2 characters have this combination. You see fire, darkness, fire, and then holy. And the other character, the Sword Fighter. Sword Fighter Kabos is just Kabos with the sword. It's just this, the explanation is just this. And then we just check this. Look, first is ice, second is lightning, and last is darkness. So it's the older elements changing here. But the Purify attack is darkness. So we have 5 elements. Darkness is what repeats. But like I said, this never happens when the enemies are never weak to the 3 elements at the same time. And well, the two Kabos can inflict status ailments. You see this Shaw's Disaster inflicts status ailments, but I don't know about the rates. I will be checking this and making a review later. And then both Kabos also has a limited skill called Pumpkin Time that increases the Purify attack damage, but the Purify attack damage is different from the normal attack damage. So you have to just try to rely on your Purify attack damage, but all other things won't match. So I don't recommend you guys really using these characters, but they really tried to make them useful. Look at their status. I will just try to check here by clicking on experience speed and try to use the huge experience speed to the max to see where they go. And you see they reach around 1.8 attack or mag when they reach max level. Right here on level 85 they are around 1.5, almost 1.6 status for both mag attack, and the other couple has it for physical attack. You can see they have similar status building. The difference is more about the HP, because the sorcerer has less and the other one has more mag defense and the other one has more physical defense. This covers this, guys. The first Kabo has very bad passives. Unfortunately, Chaos Revolution inflicts status ailments. Furious Force is bad because it only increases damage when you're on low HP. And the last one reduces dark damage taken. It's terrible. Then they have Sword Fighter Kabo, and it has at least the good skills here. It has more hate, more attack, more damage with all the elements he has, and then lastly, we still have more chance to inflict status ailment, but not even close to Ramvat or Ethereal. Remember this. I don't have the values now, I have it later, but that's about these characters. And then there's one last thing we need to talk about then on the second event. The event, let me remember here the name. The second event called the Pumpkin Ball, we get 2 rings that we can exchange. This is the ring. You can check here on the EX Super Hard. It gives you 1 ring when you full complete it. You can get another ring by doing this Pumpkin Ball challenge too. So with 2 rings, what can you do? You can get their orbs. Yeah, they are from free. They really try to make these characters good. These orbs you can check here. You need to go to permanent exchanges, and then you click here and here, and then you will just pass through this list. And Orb of Mischief is for Sword Fighter Kabo, and Orb of Pumpkins is for Magician Kabo. So there's 2 orbs. I will talk about these orbs later when I do a review. But lastly, just to remember, guys, they have double the values for their damage. The Kabo with the sword and the Kabo with the staff have almost double the values they had. So status are not everything about in this game, so this is why I still don't really recommend you guys to use them. They can be used as a character assist slot or just for divine transfer, but for real use they are not as good as Rene. Rene is better. Rene. Okay. Well, talking about the characters, now we have to talk about the third event. The third event is the Halloween Ethereal Queen event, the strongest Halloween play, and then we have the new character experience quest when we can just test this new girl here. She's very, very nice. The design was very nice, but she is a great sword user. It's very funny. She has this weapon that you can also summon from Divine Weapon Summon. There's 5 stages with story, and then story ends on the challenge 1. Part of the story still goes through this stage. And there's a lot of new things on this event. Before we talk about it, we just have to check the Divine Weapon section. Go here and talk about the bonus of this event. First of all, this girl here has more damage, like always. You see on the 5th page, she has 200% more damage and also more draws of the Monster Cookie and double experience. Well, the weapon also has the same thing. It only increases Monster Cookie drops. Same value, 25 increase. So you can get multiple copies of it and just equip on multiple characters and then get more bonus. But the second part of it doesn't have this. The only way to get more, you can click here. Let me just go here. It's on the notice. The only way to get more drops, I can just go to the character screen. The 2 Kabos get more damage on this event. The Kabo original one, let me long press here. The 50th page shows here that it gets 50% more damage. 5, just 5 more of the Monster Cookie. It's not work. It's not important. You can skip it. But I will just doing because the experience you is the double experience. I still want to farm this guy's level so I can get more gems. You have to remember that you still get 900 gems for a character to reach their max level, and then it's why I'll be using them. And the other guy, this World Fighter Kabos, gets 5 drops on the second part of the event with this Tomato Juice. But he's the only character able to increase that drop. The weapon doesn't affect this. So let me just close here. We talk about these characters now. Another thing that I want to talk about is how good is this character here. I will be doing a review later when I'm able to do this, but I have a lot of things to do. I'm a little on burnout, but okay. And this Halloween Ethereal has more status as well. She got more physical attack. Like I said, she's a great sword user. And she also inflicts elemental damage with Prismic Buster. This attack is the one that inflicts status ailments. The other one doesn't have an element, so she can still be used for some conversion, but not that much. 4 attacks will be converted and 2 not. The 2 not, these are the ones that inflict status ailment. And then she has some interesting passives, I must say. She has very inclined to damage. He increases physical damage, lightning damage, attack and mag, increase of normal attacks, more chance to apply status ailment, but she doesn't have the same values when compared to the original Ethereal Queen. Why? Because this girl here is more oriented to damage, and the Wild Trickster skill is sharing status ailment and also increased damage dealt, so they had to halve the value. And then we have this Queen Command that is also damage, and Assist is also damage, so this girl is more for damage. If you're trying to inflict status ailments, you have to choose the first Ethereal Coin, but this girl is still useful because she will inflict way more damage than the original one, okay? So this is about this girl. And this Gnostic Candelabra, like I said, it increases drops for the first part. It also is not a bad weapon. It has Bad Spiral. This Bad Spiral increases damage against enemies who inflicted with the bad status ailment. So you will always be doing status ailments, either eating poison or something like that. And the status are not bad. It's a recommendable weapon to get to Legendary Evolution, but not many characters can take a good use of it. So that is why, even if it could really meant to be something good, it's still not that useful even after that. The status are good, the skill is good, but who will be using this besides this girl? That's a good question. Then let's just get back to the limited, go to this event and talk about that stuff. Well, there's new things on this event. We have to check this extension. Extension is a new mechanic that you can just use items to increase your status or reduce the status or skills of your enemies. And the first one is only for people that has Halloween Ethereal, and the other 4 are needed to just clear some stages here for full. Getting back here, you see that I didn't clear the challenge 3 or the challenge 2. There's a reason for this. You can see here on the description when I try to face the boss, and well, there's a special boss on these 2 stages that will unleash a lot of damage and purify attacks. Boss with a purify attack. It's Norn and the other one, and I don't know because he didn't even try. And then what you have to do is to just debuff them by the use of this extension so you can defeat them, because they can overpower and unbeatable unless you can just one-shot them. And then you have to just farm more than 700 of this item to be able to get the 4 items and defeat these bosses. Unless you have the Halloween Ethereal with her weapon, you can probably skip the first one, but not the second. But I still don't think this is too possible because the HP they have is just way high. You have to use this extension. But like I said, you have to farm this item. It's a new currency. And you get like 10 of it on the challenge 3. I don't know if the value has variance, maybe not, but it's still very costly. And the challenge 3 is the best place to farm if you have the strength for it. If you don't have, challenge 2 is very close, just farm challenge 2. If you have the characters, you could change, if you have Ethereal Queen Halloween version, and the weapon you can probably farm on the higher emergency 2 if you have too many copies of it. If you don't have, just farm challenge 2, get some experience for your Kabos if you want. Then we have to talk about the exchange boot, is the last thing. This exchange boot has good things about it. But, well, we start here on the Key of Guidance. It's very important now because we have a new level on Seraph Gates. Yggdrasil Branch is good, Legendary Rainbow Stone is good. If you got Yume but you didn't get Ice Step, this could be useful. Either else, just pass. Get this Lightning Blasting Sword. The Gold Scroll is not used. Seal this day, you can skip it. Silver Scroll is good for people that get characters that use it. Bronze Skull can also be gotten, but remember, these items are the ones that most costly, and you can skip them if you don't mind about the grinding. Get the Orb are always good. Get the Awakening Ember, and stop on the Nameless Hero Memory 5. You can still get the Nameless, the Heavy Warrior Memory 1 and 2, because they are very cheap. And that's it. Don't get this word any of the hammers, because they were getting a lot of hammers this time with another events, and I find a hard time using them. Okay, well, this was it for this event. Thanks a lot for people that watched this to the end. There's a lot of things that I had to talk. There was no reason for me to do 3 videos. I just did once to try to explain the 3 parts, and I really enjoy if you could just watch it to the end. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we see each other on the next video. Bye.